Hello friends, my name is Irfan Kauchali. I'm business coach, growth hacker, sales trainer and international motivational speaker and your friend. Email etiquette episode number 2. Some of the most common purpose of email are issuing instructions, seeking clarifications, intimating intentions, conveying an agenda or future program, inviting partnership, announcing a formal program, giving feedback, seeking approvals or decisions, reporting an event, providing updates and progress, raising a concern, putting up a grievance, putting up a business case, customer communication, and finally, vendor communication. Structure of email. An email message primarily consists of 5 broader sections. First, addresses, different type of mail recipients. Second, salutation, the way or mode of addressing a receiver. Third, purpose, brief reason behind writing the mail. Fourth, details or body of the message, which elaborates on the message to be delivered. Fifth, closure of the communication with the sender's signature, that is sender's name and contact details, etc. Email communication structure. Address, says, salutation, a comprehensive consolidated purpose detail of the message, that is closure with summary of expected action points, that is body of the messages, salutation and closure. Salutation, a polite expression of greeting or goodwill indicating respect and or affection and or regards is salutation. In the context of email, it is a word or a phrase used to begin a letter or message and carries many connotations. It can be an act of honor or courteous recognition, an acknowledgement or expression of goodwill, word of greeting used to begin a mail message. Salutation. An email communication must start and end with the salutation. Email without salutation are not well perceived by the receiver. Avoid using hi or hello in salutation except when you share very informal relationship with the recipients. Dear sir or madam, when we are sending the first communication to establish a professional contact. Dear Mr., Miss, Doctor or Professor plus surname, as in Dear Dr. Rao. When it is a formal relationship with the addressees and the writer does not know him or her personally. Dear Suzanne, when the writer knows the addressee personally and the two share a semi-formal relationship. Acknowledge with thank you, how are you, or appreciate your help. Always end your emails with thank you, sincerely, best regards, something polite and not with regards or tax. Avoid using acronyms of the name, for example, PS for Parag Sawan. Also ensure that the name is spelled correctly. Address your contact with the appropriate level of formality. Signature. A mark or sign made by an individual on a document, physical or electronic, to signify knowledge, approval, acceptance or obligation is a signature. The traditional function of a signature is evidential. It is to give evidence of the provenance of the document identity, the intention will of an individual with regard to that document. Useful tips for signature. In formal communication, always include your name, designation, department's name, company name, address, contact number, and email address in the signature. Avoid informal signs in your signature. Write your complete name, avoid using pet name. Keep your signature simple, do not make it too jazzy. Adhere to the company policy for digital signature for the legal name, approved address, and the design. Sample signature, Irfan Kauchali, CEO, Udyog Guru, Private Limited, address, phone, fax, email, irfan@udyogguru.in. Body of the message. The mail message body is the email's main content. They generally carries the information that is desired to reach the receiver and communicate the intent of the information sent. The body of the message should carry a comprehensive consolidated purpose, followed by the details of the message, and be closed with the summary of expected action points. Start with the purpose. The start should contain what the addressee is supposed to expect from the rest of the mail and should be comprehensive enough to arouse interest and urge him to go on. Basically, it must set the context of the mail. Include the details. Be sure you are including all relevant details or information necessary to understand your request or point of view. Do not beat around the bush. Be concise and to the point. Do not make an email longer than it needs to be. Remember that reading an email is harder than reading printed communications, and a long email can be very discouraging to read. Use proper spelling, grammar, and punctuation. This is not only important because improper spelling, grammar, and punctuation give a bad impression and a casual look. It is also important for conveying the message properly. Avoid jargons. Avoid slang jargon, high sounding difficult word, impressing with vocabulary, colloquialism, sarcasm, and curse word. They only invite misinterpretation and deletion. Write in plain and simple English. A phrase or a word that is not formal, literally, or used in ordinary familiar conversation, like "you can't fool me, I was not born yesterday." Make it personal. Not only should the email be personally addressed, it should also include a personalized touch, that is customized content for better understanding and correct responses. Add disclaimers to your emails. It is important to add disclaimers to your internal and external mails as and when necessary, since this can help protect you from liability, confidentiality, etc. Take care with abbreviations and emotion. In business email, try not to use abbreviations such as BTW, by the way, and LOL, laugh out loud. Be careful with formatting. Remember that when you use formatting in your emails, the sender might not be able to view formatting or might see different font than you had intended. When using color, use a color that is easy to read on the background. Avoid long sentences. Try to keep your sentences to maximum of 15 to 20 words. Email is meant to be a quick medium and requires a different kind of writing than letters. Composing an email. One is what one writes. How one communicates is an indication as to who and what kind of person he or she is. This step is key to communicate the message. There has to be clear thought process and understanding of the subject which the author of the mail is wanting to communicate. The author must share the ideas, thoughts, and feelings in a coherent manner and have the idea, thought, and feeling understood by the reader. Think from the reader's perspective to communicate better, since the communication is as good as it perceived. Composing an email. Typical layout of email. To fill, person or people you are sending the email to. CC field, carbon copy used when there are people involved in a discussion who requires only to be informed about the communication. BCC field, blind carbon copy used when emailing to a group of contacts who do not personally know each other or the sender wishes to discreetly inform someone. To fill, check that the address or addressees is to fill are those you wish to initiate a discussion with or send your reply to. CC field, use CC only when it is important for those you CC to know about the contents of the email, or you can use your email to be ignored. Include address in the CC field for those who just want to inform. Use CC field sparingly. Try not to use the CC field unless the recipient in the CC field knows why they are receiving a copy of the message. Reply to all syndrome, a threat. BCC field. BCC feature is given when you do not want to expose the email addresses of recipient to each other. Ideally, one should avoid using BCC since it might initiate suspicion. It may be a better idea to forward a mail separately to the intended BCC address. Don't ever respond to an email on which you were just a BCC. Subject fields. Subject is the first thing the recipient sees from sender's message. So it's a good idea to make sure it's free of errors. Let it accurately reflect the content of the email. It should ideally attempt to summarize the content in one line, eliciting action or decision. A clear subject line enables the receiver to gauge the relevance and subject matter of the email. Do not send or forward a mail without subject. Respect the system prompt. Use a meaningful subject. Try to use a subject that is meaningful to the recipient as well as yourself. It referring to a previous correspondence, use the same subject. Keep to a single subject when composing a message. Good example, subject line, invitation, renewable energy conferences, Chicago, August 24 to 26. Bad example, renewable energy conference. Reply. Reply is used to revert or respond to the sender of the message. Reply to all. Reply to all is only used if you wish that your message is to be seen by each person who received the original message. Attachment. An email attachment is a computer file which is sent along with an email. Message is the part of the message. Attached messages may be sent in an unencoded or encoded form. Mail services have a limit on the size of the message which may be sent and received. This limit may restrict the size of files to be attached. Thank you. To be continued in episode number 3, we will see the next part. Thank you so much.